but I don't care. I fight anybody, and I fight all my entire life, anybody.
There's too many world champions in the sport of boxing, and it's crazy.
I don't think he'll want to lose to Crawford, a much smaller guy, just because he's at the end of the road. But the fight's so big and the money's so big, he's going to have to take it.
Canelo delivered a savage response when asked about Mayweather training with Crawford. Unbothered, he made it clear that he doesn't care who Crawford is working with. Confident in his experience, Canelo said he's been fighting his entire life and is ready to take on anyone, no matter their height or who's in their corner.
Which fight was more difficult between Mayweather or Bivol, and why?
I think both are similar. Just Bivol is bigger, so I think Bivol.
Eddie Hearn gave some insight into Canelo Alvarez's mindset ahead of his upcoming fight with Terence Crawford. According to Hearn, Canelo is determined not to lose to someone coming up from a lighter weight class, while pride is clearly at stake. Hearn also pointed out that the financial rewards are significant. The size advantage may favor Canelo, but Hearn stressed that he isn't taking the fight lightly. Canelo is pushing himself hard in training, fully aware that a loss to a smaller opponent could seriously damage his legacy.
I don't think he'll want to lose to Crawford, a much smaller guy, just because he's at the end of the road. But the fight's so big and the money's so big, he's going to have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
No, really?
Yeah. Why would you carry on? Like, you fight Crawford. Who else is there for Canelo Alvarez to fight?
David Benavidez, yeah.
But he's just not gonna, like, the size of Benavidez. Now, is Benavidez going to come back to 68? I don't know. Like, again, the same thing. I don't think Canelo would want to lose to Benavidez because he's not the fighter he was. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of pride for those guys. So he's made a huge amount of money. I don't know. Look, maybe it was just fighting in Saudi, the negative opponent, all this kind of stuff. But I was sitting next to Bud for the whole fight, and I was thinking, I think you'll probably beat him. You know,
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. It's a very tough fight for both. Great fight, but the movement of Terence Crawford and the ring IQ, and he looks like, in my opinion, the younger, fresher fighter, even though they're both 36 and 38. It's amazing.
I know I don't have much time left with you, Eddie. I just wanted to just quick follow up on that. When you were watching the fight with Bud, what was he telling you when he was watching it round by round by round?
We had the fight very close.
Floyd Mayweather has fully backed Terence Crawford, helping him prepare for the highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez. During their training sessions, Floyd appeared genuinely impressed with Crawford's discipline and attention to detail. He even went as far as calling Crawford the best boxer in the world right now. Their chemistry in the gym reflects a strong mutual respect, with Mayweather clearly believing that Crawford has what it takes to do something extraordinary against the bigger man. This isn't just casual support. Mayweather's endorsement is a bold statement of confidence in Crawford's ability.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in power for power. He has to be somewhere in power for power. And Canelo does something that is amazing. When Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Floyd didn't hold back when discussing Canelo's abilities. He downplayed the challenge of beating him, suggesting that Canelo lacks the complexity and unpredictability that truly elite fighters possess. Drawing from his own experience in the ring, Floyd made it clear that he didn't find the Mexican star particularly difficult to defeat. While his comments may come off as harsh, they underscore just how confident he is in Crawford's chances heading into the upcoming fight.
It's really that they don't want. It's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like he's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they have praised Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Motherfucker, easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Canelo's a hell of a fighter. there's a lot of great Mexican fighters. That's not for me to rate fighters. I just take my hat off to so many fighters that paved the way, for me to be where I'm at, just, throughout life. Canelo's a hell of a fighter.
While Floyd has been outspoken about Canelo, Terence Crawford has taken a more respectful approach when talking about Mayweather. Crawford has made it clear that breaking Floyd's records or directly challenging his legacy isn't his goal. Instead, he expresses genuine admiration for Mayweather's achievements and regards him as an icon of sport. This mindset reveals that, although Crawford is ambitious, he stays grounded and shows respect to those who paved the way before him.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beat Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I was never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I want to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Well, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like Clyde.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Trainer Steven Edwards shared his thoughts on how Crawford could find success against Canelo. He highlighted Crawford's high boxing IQ and his skill in making adjustments during the later rounds as some of his biggest advantages. According to Edwards, while Canelo may have the edge in size and power, Crawford's ability to stay sharp and read his opponent as the fight unfolds could prove decisive. Edwards praised Crawford's style for becoming more effective over time, which might catch Canelo off guard if the fight goes the distance.
Explain how he adjusts to everything. We can just adjust to anything in the fight. He's a great fighter.
Do you feel like he's got any advantages earlier with Canelo?
Sure. Better stamina, better conditioning, better feet. I think obviously Canelo's the harder puncher, probably the stronger guy, but I think he has more dexterity, more agility. He's going to be better in the later rounds. He's a little taller, his arms are longer. I think he got a lot of advantages.
Do you see any point in the fight where Crawford not being able to hurt Canelo just gets walked down? That's been the consensus overall before Canelo's last fight. A lot of people saying that Crawford may be able to do something early, but there's going to be a point where he gets hit, gets hurt.
I disagree with that. I think Crawford's going to be the stronger fighter in the later rounds. I think the early part of the fight is where he got to be careful at. I think the early part of the fight, he could get clipped if he's not careful. But I think the later rounds, I think he functions better in the later rounds than Canelo does.
Anything you're looking forward to that you want to talk about?
Karan Davis has a great fight versus Yoeli Hernandez on the same card that Caleb fights. That's probably going to be fight of the night. It's going to be a great fight.
He retired briefly. Real quick. Kyron did. I remember wishing him
That was an April Fool's thing. You guys fell.
He got me on the April Fool's. Kyron, you dirty for that, my boy.
Yeah, he got.
Veteran promoter Bob Arum expressed mixed feelings about the matchup. While he agreed that a fight between these two elite fighters would be a major spectacle, he voiced concerns about Canelo's recent performances. Arum questioned whether Canelo is truly fighting for the sport or just chasing financial gain, noting that fans haven't seen the same level of energy or excitement from him over the past 2 years. To Arum, it seems like Crawford is entering this fight with something to prove, whereas Canelo might just be along for the payday.
I just think he's getting a little older, and he's just like, man, I'm not going to chase this guy around the ring like that. The guy's skull fought awful, man. That was a horrible performance. You know what I mean? I know some of it's on Canelo too, but
He said he thought he won.
yeah, I mean, what is he supposed to say? I don't ever want to see a guy like that fight again, man. I like boxers, but that was bad.
And talk to us about the thin line between running and actual ring generalship. Where do you draw the line as a coach?
Ring generalship in boxing is a guy that's trying to apply his offense and score points and win the fight. A guy that's running is just simply trying to run the clock out That's why he's called running. He's running the clock out just so he can get a decision and get a moral victory. He has no interest in scoring points and winning the fight. His only interest is not taking any punishment and not being hit at all. So he's willing to sacrifice all of his offense to win the fight just so he can say he didn't get knocked out. So what Shakur and Devin do, that's not running. That's boxing. You know what I mean? It may not be crowd friendly, but they're boxing. They're landing punches. They're hitting you more than you're hitting them. They're applying point scoring while they're just not taking a lot of punches. What William Skull was doing, he was running around the ring just like waiting for the rounds to end just so he can go 12 rounds and just see, you know, that was a little different.
Boxing journalist Dan Raphael emphasized the broader significance of the fight. For him, the matchup is about more than just pay-per-view numbers. It's about creating excitement and delivering a clash that truly matters to fans. Raphael believes events like this help keep the sport relevant and attract casual viewers who might otherwise overlook boxing. He sees it as a net positive, a rare showdown between two skilled champions from different divisions, each bringing something unique to the ring.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. almost looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been so much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Renowned analyst Teddy Atlas came out strongly in support of Crawford, especially amid critics questioning his decision to move up in weight. Atlas explained that the jump in division doesn't diminish Crawford's potential. In fact, he believes Crawford's footwork and ring IQ are more than enough to handle the transition. According to Atlas, the criticism is unwarranted. He views Crawford's ambition not as overconfidence, but as a natural progression for a fighter with his level of talent and hunger.
Come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. As a tight he's saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. A unified champion that he's been. All of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Rather than making excuses or playing the underdog, Crawford has faced concerns about size and strength with calm focus. He acknowledges the risks, but doesn't dwell on them. Instead, he sees this fight as an opportunity to prove what he's truly capable of. For Crawford, it's not just a test of physical strength, but a mental and technical challenge. He wants to leave no doubt that he can dominate, even outside his natural weight class. Floyd Mayweather offered additional perspective by reflecting on his own fight with Canelo. He recalled entering the ring at a lighter weight, but still controlling the bout with ease. That performance demonstrated how strategy can neutralize brute force. Floyd's victory was less about size and more about mastering timing, distance, and defense. His story serves as a reminder that ring intelligence can overcome physical disadvantages when applied correctly.
After Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170. And actually I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
Gotcha.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. You know, I can't get on here and hate on his skills and knock his skills. He's been through a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's done a lot for the sport of boxing. And I'm absolutely proud of Roy Jones.
This is a very mature Floyd Mayweather we're talking to 10 years ago. I know.
Yeah, that's why I'm quiet.
You mean 20 years ago?
Yeah, I know what would have been said.
I had a different set of questions.
Drawing from his own experience, Floyd offered Crawford valuable advice centered on planning and execution. He didn't suggest avoiding the fight. Instead, he urged Crawford to prepare strategically. According to Floyd, success comes from sticking to a well-calculated game plan and staying composed under pressure. Speaking as someone who's been in the ring with Canelo, he emphasized that the key to beating him isn't raw power, but outthinking him over the course of 12 rounds.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Crawford's coach, Brian Bulak McIntyre, took the chance to respond to critics doubting Crawford's resume. He pointed out that many of Crawford's past opponents were highly respected before facing him. According to Bulak, Crawford dismantled each of them cleanly and fairly, never relying on weight advantages or questionable tactics. He emphasized that Crawford's approach has always been about building a lasting legacy through honest, competitive fights, not taking shortcuts or chasing easy paydays.
This fight with Canelo Alvarez, it was interesting to see the comments from Canelo and how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit. But it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build the fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing that you would ask and say this is a possible task for Crawford because of his pound for pound abilities. And apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wanted. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So why put stipulations in there when you know that you can beat the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here, and maybe we'll catch up later in 5 weeks. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Canelo the beast, man. Canelo the beast, and when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So whoever I was gonna fight, I was gonna give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But yeah, I was boxing well. But one thing, sizes. Now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing, every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A boxing fight, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui, he boxed really well as well, and he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, that, another, but no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hernandez don't levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably on the same level, but in my opinion, both guys want to fight each other this year.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.